Hi everyone, Dave Haskell here. I'm the People's Party candidate for Cambridge and North Dumfries, and I'm coming to you today with a message of frustration. Max Bernier, the leader of the People's Party of Canada, is scheduled to be in southern Ontario this coming Friday, July 19th. He'll be appearing in London, then coming to Cambridge in the late afternoon, and then he was to head off to Guelph for a town hall meeting there. We're still days away from Maxime's arrival, but we just heard a couple days ago on the weekend that the event in Guelph lost its venue. The organizers may also be forced to cancel because totalitarian thugs, far-left radicals calling themselves communists and anti-fascists, suggested that they'd do harm to the venue or those in it if the event went ahead. Now, don't miss the irony here. They use the name anti-fascist, but this group uses violence and threats to get their way. They are actual fascists. In addition to saying that they're out to smash their opponents in the People's Party, these thugs also featured the imagery of a stabbing knife and dripping blood and a bloody skull on their messages. And not surprisingly, the owners of the Guelph venue were made afraid, and they said that the event would have to take place elsewhere. But it wasn't just in Guelph where the owners of a hosting venue were made afraid and forced to cancel. I was just informed by email today, Monday, July 15th, that the Cambridge venue where I was to host Maxime Bernier will not have us. Like the venue in Guelph, the Cambridge establishment, a local coffee bar, has been intimidated by the threats of these domestic terrorists, and fearing harm to property or people, it has capitulated. We were sold out for this event. About 100 citizens were excited to have the chance to chat with the leader of Canada's fastest growing political party. And you know what? They're still going to get that chance. We already have a backup venue booked for the event in Cambridge, and we'll be notifying legitimate ticket holders of that location closer to the day of the event. The right to hear ideas and gather peacefully will not be taken away by a bunch of bullies from the radical left. And while this is a great outcome for Cambridge, and yes, the show will go on, it absolutely underscores why a federal political party is needed that insists that this criminal behavior must stop. The erosion of basic rights must stop. I'm frustrated because these threats and violent behaviors are becoming more and more common in Canada, and these evil, intolerant people who force others to bow to their will are winning. But we can't keep letting them win, and we won't. In fact, one of the main reasons the People's Party was formed was to push back against these evil people who want to steal from law-abiding Canadians their right to think and speak and meet as they choose. Take a look at our policy on freedom of expression and freedom of conscience, and you'll see what I mean. We are the only federal party who takes this issue seriously and has such a policy. And if you know my personal story, you know that I've been a university professor for 20 years, and I've been fighting this same issue on university campuses where this kind of thing now happens monthly and sometimes weekly. The fight on campus has become overwhelming. Across Canada, there are just too many university faculty, aided by too many university administrators, who are all influencing too many students, and they're telling those students it is a good thing, the expected thing, to shut down those who are your ideological opponents. And now these wrongly influenced students have graduated, and they've filtered into our society. And they're doing what I've seen them do for years on campuses across Canada. But now it's happening in our neighborhoods. But we can't give in to the threats and intimidation of these bullies, because when we do, it encourages them to do it again and again and again. Okay, but there's another very important point that I want you to realize about these far-left groups and their supporters. They use out-and-out lies to vilify their opponents. In this particular case, the Guelph case, they said completely false things about the People's Party, about its leader, Maxime Bernier, about its candidates and its members, all to justify their criminal behavior. They know that if they can convince the public that the people they are calling their opponents are the bad guys, fewer people in the public will object to the threats and violence that they use on them. So let me point out where we saw this use of lies in the Guelph incident. In the messages that the activists were sending, they called the members of the People's Party, and I'm quoting here, racist goons and enemies of the working class. Now, if these idiot activists were willing to use their real names rather than hide behind anonymity, as cowards do, I'd sue them for slander. Because the truth is that the People's Party is the least racist party in all of Canada. In fact, we reject discrimination in all forms. So don't believe these lies. Look at the facts. We are the only party to have it right in our value statements and policies. We say, we do not believe that race, sex, ethnicity, religion, or any other external characteristic should be used in any way to judge an individual. The reason that the left hate us is not because we promote discrimination, it's because we say that all discrimination should be eliminated and that merit and competency should be the only criteria for success. Now, if you look beyond our policies and you look at the actual candidates who are running for the People's Party, and I want you to go online and do this, you'll see that every race, gender, orientation, and religion is represented among our candidates. Our opponents don't want you to search this out, but you'll see that among federal political parties, we are among the most racially, ethnically, religiously diverse. Our candidates, no matter what their skin color or religion or orientation, all have one thing in common, though. We think that unity is better than division. We're tired of being divided into tribes by our government and institutions. We all want to move forward in unity as Canadians. And it's an absolute insult to all the candidates of my party who just happen to be visible minorities that these lying idiots on the left are accusing them of racism. So if you're listening to this and you don't know about the People's Party, seek out the facts for yourself. But don't get it filtered through the national media who, research shows, and I'm a researcher in this area, they're willing to misrepresent people and parties on the political right. Instead, go right to the horse's mouth. Look at the actual policies of the People's Party, or go to my YouTube channel and look at any video of any speech that I've given, because I've posted them all. And here's the thing. After looking at the actual facts, it's absolutely okay for you to disagree with me or my party, any idea that we have. Because that's what we should do in Canada. We should allow people to disagree without threats, without violence. And that's what the People's Party stands for. Now, mind you, if you find yourself agreeing, if as you look at the policies, you find yourself saying yes to things like lower tax rates to help average working people, and yes to canceling foreign aid so that we have billions more to take care of people at home, or you're saying yes to resetting immigration numbers at a lower level to give newcomers more time to find their way into the economy and into the society, well, then the last thing I have to say to you is this. No matter who you are welcome in the People's Party. I'm Dave Haskell.